Hello guys, it's Kuba Winkowski here from Kuban, and today I'm cooking with great British chefs in Spanish Chorizo Consortium. Dish I would like to show you is fusion between Poland, where I'm coming from, and Spain, where I've been on holidays quite a few times. Pierogi, classic Polish dumplings, but we're gonna fill it and serve it in chorizo and cider broth with addition of some prawns. First thing we need to do is chorizo broth. For that, we're gonna use this amazing Spanish chorizo. That's the cooking variation, so it's nice and soft and gonna release lots of oil. First thing, I'm gonna dice the onion. Now I'm gonna sweat this onion in olive oil, Spanish of course. Gonna add a pinch of salt just to soften the onion. In the meantime, let's dice our chorizo. Cooking variation is very good for things like that, for stews and anything where you want that sort of oil coming out of it and flavor whatever you're cooking it with. What we're looking at is just a rough dice. Just gonna stir the onions. They're only gonna need like 3 or 4 minutes just to soften a little bit. Together with chorizo, I'm gonna add a little bit more paprika to make it even more deep red color. It's important to reduce the heat at this stage, as we don't want any color, we don't want any evaporation. We just want to render all the oil from the chorizo. So while waiting for the chorizo broth, we can start on our pierogi dough. What I have here is strong pasta flour. We have a pinch of salt, about 2 grams, and oil. I'm using rapeseed oil, and I've got water here which I brought to the boil about 2 or 3 minutes ago, so it's still hot but not boiling. All goes in, and now using the fork I'm gonna get everything together, and now we need to knead it on the table. We're looking probably about 5 minutes till the dough is nice and smooth and elastic. Okay, that will do. Because the dough is still quite warm, we don't want to put it in the cling film so it sweats. So what I'm gonna do, cover it with the bowl till it cools down. Then I'm gonna wrap it in the cling film and rest it for about 20 minutes. So as you can see, again, all this oil coming out of the chorizo, and that's what we're looking for. So the next stage is to get the heat a little bit up, and we're gonna add our cider. I'm using Somerset cider, dry variation, about 120 grams. And now we want to bring that to the boil and reduce it for about minute or two, just to lose the harsh alcohol flavor. So the cider is boiling away. So now the last ingredient, chicken stock. So our chorizo broth cooked out nicely for about 25 to 30 minutes, and I have passed all the chorizo and onions and I put that in the fridge to cool down. We're just gonna roughly chop it through. Okay, that can go into a bowl. Next I'm gonna dice some chili to go in. If you don't like it too spicy, remove the seeds. Then some basil, and thyme leaves. And now roughly chop, not to bruise the basil too much. So now for the last ingredient into our stuffing is prawns. So king prawns, shelled, ready to go. And again, I'm just gonna chop them into smallish chunks, but not into a puree. here, pinch of salt, and we're just gonna give it a good stir. Right, so this is the stuffing for the pierogi. So now all we have to do is to roll our dough. The dough was resting in the fridge, nicely cling filmed. So it's nice and soft, easy to work. Just need some flour on a table. So what you want to do is roll it out into about 2 mm thick. And now we're using the pastry cutter or a glass if you don't have one. We're gonna cut it into rounds. Put our mix in the middle, so make sure that you keep the edges clean. The idea is so they're as full as possible, but so you can still close them. We're gonna cover the edges, the top together, so they stick. Push it in and close it clean. And then the same on the other side, just push it in so your edges are nice and clean. And seal it. And then pinch it to make sure they're lovely and sealed. In the meantime, I have put a pan of water to the boil. We don't want it to rapid boil, so I just reduce the heat slightly and off we go. We are cooked. Now I'm gonna finish my broth, and I've got a little bit of sherry vinegar, another great Spanish ingredient, and just a touch just to break up through that fattiness of chorizo. So we're gonna arrange pierogi. I go 5 per portion as a starter. Now we're just gonna gently look at the color of this. Put some more basil to go on top. And here we have it. Beautiful dish of chorizo and prawn pierogi with chorizo inside the broth. Full of flavor, full of body. Check out the Great British Chef website for the recipe. Please use Spanish Chorizo Consortium to buy your chorizos and to make sure you buy the best quality real stuff. Thank you so much. Thank you for watching.